G'day there, traders and friends right around the world. It is James here from Pivot Point Trading on a Tuesday afternoon as I bring you a quick market recap. I missed Monday's market recap. The reason why was because, the market really didn't truly do all that much. It was somewhat of a surprise to see the bullish bounce given those leading indicators we saw on the Good Friday. Today, however, we have seen a shooting star not only take place on the Dow Jones Industrial Average, but also on the S&P 500. Have a look at this daily candlestick right here, and also on the NASDAQ. What I want you to pay attention to at this particular moment in time is the overall bigger picture and the bigger structure for the overall US markets. It's okay to, again, see one-day bullish pops, but in the larger picture, the larger sentiment transition which is taking place at this location, it really didn't change the overall outlook on the market. You can see right here, it's an inside day candle of the overall structure. We didn't break out above, one, the resistance level coming in here about 17,962, and secondly, we also didn't break above this declining resistance level which has been in effect since March, all right, or for the entire month of March for 2015. Again, today the markets tried to push higher. At some stage during the day, it was up until the last 1 hour and a half of trading, these candlesticks were all looking very, very healthy. They were long day, white day candles. They were shaved top candlesticks as well, indicating again strong buying pressure. But given the last hour, maybe it was the last 70 minutes, selling pressure really came back into all three of the US markets. At the end of the day, these markets were really starting to tank. It may be in reference to this one horizontal resistance level right here. It may be in reference or in anticipation of the retest of this declining resistance level. At the end of the day, again, I am not convinced on the overall strength, the overall health of these markets, and as such, I'm very, very happy to bite my time, to remain patient, to remain disciplined, and simply wait for better opportunities to either buy or sell once the market gains better traction. At the moment, you can see that we're down, we're up, we're down, we're up, we're down, we're most recently up, and here we are with shooting star candlesticks indicating that possibly we may be in for another down type of movement. In between all of these down and up, bigger sort of minor swing level trades, if you're looking at this on a daily candlestick time frame, just look at how different or how much these candlesticks actually rotate between dark days, which are selling, and long white days, which are buying pressure. You've got sell, buy, sell, neutral, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell, sell, sell. You got big buy days followed by inside day sell days. The overall net position of these markets is still zero. You need to see the bigger picture. If you're a swing trader trying to transact within all of this chop, you are finding it very hard to find good entries. You're also finding it very hard to hit your targets. In other words, it's more so at this particular moment in time, a market for day traders or a market for people who shouldn't be trading whatsoever. Instead, remain on the sidelines, wait for the bigger picture to form, wait for the traction to gain, and the momentum to stick in the overall markets. You just want to see clear momentum break and conviction one side or another. Until we get that, ladies and gentlemen, traders right around the world, I've been very open and honest and humble about this. I'm sitting tight really and just waiting for what I believe to be a true correction which is forming and will come into this market at some point in the near future. It's hard. People email me and say, look, you're expecting the market to sell off on Monday. Yes, I was. It doesn't change my overall perspective, my overall outlook, given what is starting to set up not only on the Dow Jones, but also on the S&P 500. You can see it's almost a mirror image, but also on the NASDAQ. A lot of gaps starting to show up in this market, a lot of exhaustion gaps, and a lot of long day Morobozu dark candlesticks as well, taking place at near these all-time highs. Yes, the NASDAQ hasn't reached the all-time high, unlike the Dow Jones and the S&P 500. But I hope you're taking this advice, this cautionary guidance for what it's worth. I am really struggling to find a true reason to be bullish. I remain as neutral as possible in the way of analysis, but all of the analysis at the moment is indicating what could be, a 5% correction, anywhere up to a 10% correction on the intermediate time frame. All right, truly 5% to a 10% intermediate correction on not only the Dow Jones, but the S&P and the NASDAQ. That is a big correction, given that we're trading at 17,875. A 10% correction would be close to 1,800 points on this particular market. Now, going into some individual trade analysis, I spoke about this in the last video on YouTube, but what I'm going to do is from now on, try not to reference individual trade setups. I'm only going to reference the trades which have triggered and which we're into, so that people can, look at this resource as some form of a management type of resource for the trades which we speak about and analyze in the pro analysis recording. What I can say right now is, given the context of that discussion, given my feedback and just my general outlook on the market, not many trades whatsoever have actually triggered to the downside. We have seen a bullish pop in a couple of stocks. For instance, Apple saw a nice day on Monday, but today again quickly negated. Let me just see if I can hide these annotations and bring up Apple. No, it's not really going to work. But what you can see right now anyway is, if I just hide these annotations, you can see right here, Monday had a nice little bullish pop. But on today's trading session, we were down again at about $1.30. Net movement is zero on Apple. The same is true for a lot of these stocks. Amazon is in what we call a Bollinger Band squeeze. This stock right here, appearing to really start to move to the upside. Again today negated. We're mostly flat for the week. Boeing Airlines relatively flat. Baidu had a big impressive gap down. You can see right here, look at this gap down, right down to the support level. We were speaking about a little intraday trade below this level. Instead it gapped down about $5 or $4. Here we are trading at the support level. Caterpillar again in some form of a Bollinger Band squeeze as well. You can see this up day on Monday, this one particular candlestick. Let me zoom in right here. But again, completely negated as at Tuesday's candlestick. I can see a lot of these stocks head faking a lot of people. A lot of people are really sort of emotionally invested in this market. They're saying, look, I haven't placed a good swing trade in a matter of weeks now. And that's just what, seasonally we're going through with swing traders. There hasn't been a lot of opportunity for many people out there. CVX is somewhat of a surprise. My short entry on this. Monday and Tuesday, closely tied to the price of oil. It's taken a little bit of a bounce, up $1.62 today, very close to the open trigger. But given my context of the market, I have had zero long entries open in my own personal trading account. I'm simply sitting here waiting for the rollover of the market. It doesn't bother me if I miss this bullish pop, because it doesn't make sense at this particular level to be trading bullish. You simply need to be sitting on the sidelines, being patient and waiting for the right opportunity to enter into the market. Facebook was one of those stocks where I said wait for the buying pressure to show up at this level about $81. We saw that on Monday, but again, look at that shooting star on Tuesday. Very close to that long order. Very happy that it didn't trigger. Facebook was the only stock out of this entire list which you could have really given somewhat of a bullish sort of outlook for. The reason why was because of the breakout of this long-term channel right here, and then the retest, and then the continuation to the upside. Now, I'm still not sold on this market. You can see a shooting star candle on Facebook for Tuesday. That bullish trade trigger technically does still stand. Let me just bring it back in so you can see. It still technically does stand, but it's something that I'm really struggling to come to terms with, given what this market looks to be doing. I hope that makes sense. Google today, a little bit of a doji candlestick, no real net movement. We're starting to see the breakdown. This could be the retest of that neckline. You see that retest right here? This is a discussion which we had over the weekend as well. It's still not set up enough to trade off, but it's looking pretty good, or given the sort of context of the price action taking place. GoPro was another stock similar to CVX. Perfect short entry. It hasn't triggered, but volume is horrendous. This looks like a bear flag. It truly does. Monday's had a nice long day candle, but there was no volume behind it. Today, right at resistance, another spinning top, another doji candlestick. This looks like a bear flag, which is going to resolve itself to the downside. We just need to see confirmation of that move before we can start shorting it. Goldman Sachs again, shooting star resistance, right out at resistance. I'm still looking at that short entry, which we spoke about over the weekend. And IBM again, I mean, we've got that trend line coming up through here. Nice bullish pop on Monday. No real net movement, but look at that shooting star today on today's daily candle for IBM. Again, a lot of these stocks are really struggling to find any commitment one direction or another. We will find it very soon. And again, that's just like the general theme of the overall market. Netflix is there, and it hasn't really done a whole lot. We're moving into earnings. I mean, earnings for a lot of these stocks are just around the corner. Earnings for Netflix is looking to be announced on the 15th. This is probably incorrect at this moment in time. It may be 1 or 2 days either side of the 15th. I will give you better indication of when that is. When we get a confirmation, I will have to check that outside of this platform services, but it is about a week away. And to conclude with, the only trade which is necessarily actually triggered is Tesla, albeit a very tentative long entry. You know my reasoning for that. Email me if you're in Tesla, anyone in the pro class, because I'd be interested to find out if anyone took the long trade, given the discussion we had over the weekend. That is still up. It is posted online, an hour and 15 minutes. It's been 2 days since that recording, and we haven't really seen a whole lot in the market. Please, please, please make sure that before you enter into any trades, you're seeing, all right, a reason to do so outside of just, a 10, a 15, a 30-minute daily chart, which is screaming buy, all right? Or there's some, algorithms, for the first 15 minutes of a trading session, just running the price of the market up. There has to be a bigger reason for you to get involved in stocks as a swing trader. And at the moment, there's a lot of issues out there, not only in the world of technical charting, which is saying, look, sell or be prepared for a sell-off, but also out there when we speak about and reference, most recent economic data. Market is unpredictable. It is wild to a degree. That's why we use contingent orders to mitigate, moves like what occurred on Monday, where we didn't see the conviction to the downside. It's really important that you pull these pieces of the puzzle together. And you know what? I'll leave it at that for a Tuesday afternoon market recap. I've gone over a little bit of time, but I hope I've thoroughly explained myself as at the close on Tuesday afternoon. If you have any questions whatsoever, email me success. Or actually just follow the link down in the description below this video. It is success@pivotpoint-trading.com. Have a fantastic Tuesday evening, ladies and gentlemen, around the world. I will see you most likely on a Wednesday for some continued market commentary. All the best. Goodbye.